Hello, and welcome to my video on social and emotional competence. We're going to talk about the 4 different topics involved in teaching children how to regulate themselves and be pro-social people as they grow up. The first topic we're going to cover is perceiving emotions. And perceiving emotions is when we learn how to interpret, understand, and manage the emotions going through us. Anybody that's been around children knows that when they're small, they don't know how to do that, and that's okay. That's our job, to teach them. And the first thing we need to teach them is that they have emotions, that those emotions belong to them. We need to teach them how to name their emotions. Perceptions of emotions and being able to name emotions is something children need for themselves. The first step to being able to process our own emotions is being able to name them. Giving a name to what it is we are feeling gives us a grip on it and often lessens the emotional weight of them. It also encompasses noticing other people's emotions. Typically, children are able to pick up the physical cues of positive emotions way faster than negative emotions. With positive emotions, we smile, we laugh, our physical movements are obvious. Positive emotions are usually obvious. Negative emotions tend to be a little bit more nuanced, especially towards adults who might mask their feelings. So that skill is a little bit harder for them to learn. Second, we're going to talk about expressing emotions. Expressing emotions is something that children do naturally. From birth on, expressing emotions just happens. Babies cry, toddlers throw tantrums, and so on. What we want to help children learn once they get to the tantrum part is that they don't have to throw tantrums to express themselves. They can talk. We want to teach them the words, and here again we talk about naming their emotions. If your toddler can come up to you and say, "I'm disappointed we didn't go to the park today," you guys can have a conversation about it instead of them melting down on the floor. We can empathize with them by remembering that they do not have any frame of reference to compare things to. To them, the greatest injustice is not going to the park. As an adult, we have experienced much greater disappointments, so something small like this isn't a big deal to us, but it is a big deal to them. This is the worst thing they've ever experienced. But that's kind of a good thing, because they can learn how to manage their emotions over being upset that their cup is blue instead of yellow, versus being an adult and being upset that their boss didn't give them the promotion. We want them to learn this now, not later. Regulating emotions. This is the hardest skill for children to learn. This is the hardest skill for humans to learn. Regulating emotions means understanding and managing moods and our feelings responsibly. This is going from the child melting down on the floor to having a more healthy response to the way that they're feeling inside. This crucial life skill will take them through their entire lives. To do this, children need to be able to learn how to be aware that they have feelings, be able to tell these feelings apart, give these feelings names, and then have the skills to cope with those feelings. For instance, if the child was waiting for a turn at the computer, but then time ran out and they didn't get their turn, that's very disappointing. We can all empathize with that. The child that's able to regulate their emotions is going to be able to say, "I'm disappointed. What can I do about it? Okay, well, I can wait for tomorrow and I can have my turn tomorrow." And it doesn't mean that they aren't disappointed. It just means that they have a healthy way to deal with it. All of this accumulates into social and emotional learning and development. Social SEL is incredibly important for classroom management, for child management. You don't even have to be a teacher in a classroom to use SEL. Social and emotional learning is the process through which children acquire and apply the knowledge, skills, and attitudes to develop healthy identities, manage emotions, achieve personal and collective goals, feel and show empathy for others, establish and maintain supportive relationships, and make responsible and caring decisions. As educators, we are in a position to help children learn and practice these skills that they are going to use forever. We can do this by either intentionally inserting SEL lessons into our day or looking for moments throughout the day, they're going to happen, where we can insert these lessons in practice. Take, for instance, seeing a student make a mistake and being calm about it while we talk to them about how to fix it. Instead of coming up to the student and being like, oh, you made a mistake. What are you going to do about it? That's shaming them. It makes them feel like they weren't allowed to make that mistake. But instead, we reassure them, hey, you made a mistake. That's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. What did you learn from this mistake? And what can we do next time? That teaches them a healthy way to deal with disappointment and frustration and failure, and build them up with a I can do it attitude, saying, yeah, I messed up this time, but I can do it again later. That's the healthy way to deal with our emotions. I'm sure we all know adults that don't do this, so let's do our best to teach our children how to do this. Thank you.